Hey everybody, welcome back to Ask LexRx. I'm Dr. Lexi, the functional medicine pharmacist at Divine Health and Wellness, which is inside of River City Pharmacy. Today, I'm just going to go over what an anti-inflammatory versus inflammatory diet is, and then maybe a couple tips on how to switch so that you can start healing from the inside out, basically. So let's start and go ahead and dive in. So I just want to start off by saying that switching from a pro-inflammatory diet to an anti-inflammatory diet does not have to be all at once. You can take it one step at a time, especially if you are not ready to just dive in and make all the changes at once. It's actually a little easier to make this more sustainable if you do it one step at a time as opposed to all at once as well. So there is a little pro for doing it slowly as well. So let's dive in. The first step in transitioning is to recognize what foods are pro-inflammatory. So I want to go over those. Refined grains, so anything, basically most grains that we usually eat that have been processed, like wheat or rice or corn, anything like that. Whole grains, grain or flour products in general, all of those will be somewhat inflammatory with your body. Deep fried foods, anything that is processed. So most foods, if they have a label on them, they're processed. So just a heads up, that's what processed food means. And most packaged foods as well, which usually are processed. So a lot of this, we're talking about the same foods. Also grain-fed meats and eggs, fast foods and soda. And then most commercial salad dressings, trans fats, margarine, and some oils such as corn oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, and soybean oil. All of those are more pro-inflammatory when introduced to the body. Now, what you can do instead is trying to incorporate more of the anti-inflammatory foods, so you're not really eating any less. You may actually be eating more, which I would encourage you to do, but you're eating foods that are anti-inflammatory, so they're fueling your body to be able to take care of the inflammation that's already present. So this is what I talk about, or what I mean when I'm talking about healing from the inside out. So let me just go dive into the list of anti-inflammatory foods. This is not an exclusive list, but it is a well-rounded one. So I want to give you guys that heads up. So grass-fed or pasture-raised meat actually does have a different inflammatory profile than grass-fed or grain-fed meat. They have more of the anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids in them than omega-6s, whereas the grain-fed meats have way more omega-6s that are pro-inflammatory than it does the omega-3s. Also, lemons, limes, berries, avocados or avocado oil, green tea, one of my favorites, non-starchy vegetables. I could go on forever here, but I just want to give a few examples. Like most green vegetables, carrots, cauliflower, mushrooms, peppers, squash, tomatoes. Again, I could go on forever here. Turmeric and other spices such as basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, sage, use all the spices. Wild caught fish, bone and vegetable broth, apple cider vinegar, ginger, another great spice, extra virgin olive oil and olives, fermented vegetables such as kimchi, pickles, and sauerkraut, coconut oil, coconut butter, coconut milk, and coconut flakes, coconut in general if you haven't guessed already, as well as garlic, onions, and chives. So notice that the list of anti-inflammatory foods is actually bigger than the list of pro-inflammatory foods. So there's a lot of good food out there that's good for your body as well. So I'd like to encourage you just to try one new thing a week as a starter. Again, you do not have to completely just drop everything and switch over. That can be hard. It can be very, very beneficial as far as seeing results quicker, but it is harder to sustain that way. So you do not have to jump in head first. So I really did start seeing the benefits of an anti-inflammatory diet. Just start incorporating some of these slowly, seeing which ones you like. You may discover certain foods or spices that you didn't know you like, and now they're your favorite or something. So anyway, so that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that and got some good learning done. And I will see you guys next week. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week and weekend. Bye.